I'm out here shooting this video in unflattering sunlight to demonstrate for you how to orient and locate your vegetable garden if you're starting from scratch. I'm Christy Wilhelmi from Gardenerd, and welcome to Gardenerd headquarters. The first step in figuring out where you should put your garden is observation. Observation means taking time to walk your garden space at different times of day and taking note of where shadows from trees and buildings fall on the space that you plan to use to garden. Do you get morning shade? Do you get afternoon shade? This is all going to be helpful in figuring out what you can plant in that space later on. The other thing to look for is hedges. Do you or does your neighbor have privacy hedges running along the property? If so, that's something to pay attention to, because those hedges, the roots from those hedges will inevitably invade your vegetable garden planters, so you may need to plan for protection at the bottom of those planters if you've got hedges lining your property. Step 2 in figuring out how to place your garden and where is orientation. And that's where the compass comes in. When you're starting a new garden, you'll see advice like choose a south-facing location, but when you're new, sometimes just that terminology is complicated. So let me explain that. If you stand in the space where you want to grow your food and face the sun, that's going to help you determine what facing your garden is. For example, I am sitting here in the garden and I am facing the sun, which is really bright right now. And in our garden, north is that way and south is that way, and the sun path comes up and over like this, which means my garden technically is southeast facing. That's how you figure it out. Now, if you don't know where north is, I always carry a compass with me when I go visit my clients and a new garden space, because the sun might not always be out, but a compass will always tell you where north is. So I keep this clipped on my pants all the time. The ideal location for a vegetable garden is south facing, as you may have read. And that is because you get the most exposure from sun up to sun down. If you live in a space where there are a lot of tall buildings, your best location might not be in your backyard, it might be in your front yard. A lot of gardens have better exposure out in front of their house than behind. Here at Gardenerd headquarters, we have a one-story house, but our neighbors have two-story houses, and we also have a giant Brazilian pepper tree that blocks a lot of the sunlight. For example, these strawberries over here are in shade in the winter for a good portion of the day. But in the summer, the sun is higher in the sky, and so the exposure is going to be different. Even if you don't have full sun, you can use those shady areas to your advantage. For example, if you have a fence and your garden is on the other side of that fence and that fence causes shadow on your soil, you can choose to plant things that don't need as much sunlight right near the fence, like lettuces, herbs, tender herbs that don't need full sun, and some root vegetables. When planning out your planter beds, you want to make sure you have enough room between them so that you can walk, or if you're going to use a wheelbarrow or a cart, to have enough space to put those between beds. Also, if you want to be able to grow tall stuff in your southmost facing beds, then leave enough space between those planters and your other planters so that the shadows don't cause shade on your other beds. I can't tell you how many gardens I've been to where the client was super excited about their new garden that their landscape designer just put in, and I show up and they've installed it on the north side of a two-story house in the dog run. I hope that this video starts you off on the right foot and helps you avoid the mistakes that some landscape designers make. You can find so much more information on how to improve your observation skills and plan your garden out from scratch in a new space in my online course, Plan Your Abundant Edible Garden, which has become available this week at gardenerd.com. Check out my book, Gardening for Geeks, and if you want to grow more than just vegetables, grow your own mini fruit garden for fruit trees, and have fun while you're enjoying your garden by reading my novel, Garden Variety. And consider becoming a Patreon subscriber to support all the free stuff that we do here at Gardenerd. Patreon supporters get access to behind-the-scenes goodies like monthly hangouts with me and answers to your burning gardening questions in an expedited fashion. Check it out at gardenerd.com, and happy gardening.